Hey, how's it going? This is Tasha with Emerge Sales Training. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over the top questions that we get asked about social media from our network marketing friends. So I'm going to go over these 5 questions. The first one is, should I start a business page? Second, how can I get more engagement? Should I use graphics? And how do I strike up conversations with people that actually create sales? So those 4 questions I'm going to go through. You may not be in a place where you can take notes, and you might want to. So you can easily just download my notes that I'm referring to and have some details by going to emergesalestraining.com/376 notes. So emergesalestraining.com/376 notes. That's how you'll be able to get the notes that I am, just basically a cheat sheet for these questions. All right. So let's go and go through the first one. Should I start a business page? Well, it sort of depends. There are 6 ways for you to meet potential customers for your business. And this is the same for me as a coaching business, or really lots and lots of businesses are gonna do this. So the first is people you know. The second is going to be referrals or hosting classes, parties, socials, whatever your company calls it. The third is going to be vendor booths. The fourth is going to be networking events and speaking events. The fifth is partnership with businesses. And then the sixth is social media. And I arranged them in that way because they actually get in order of speed and ease. So people you know are the fastest to schedule, and they're the fastest to get results, and there's a higher trust level, so it's easier, right? Referrals are next, so on and so forth. So social media, if you're trying to meet people through social media, I just want you to understand that that's kind of like moving to a new town and creating a whole community. So you can't just show up in a town and just be like, hello, everyone. I sell these network marketing products. Everyone should buy. That's not how that works. So if you are going to meet, right, there's a difference between reconnecting with people you already know through social media and creating a new audience through social media. And that's going to require creating a target market, having consistent posting 2 times per day, and the ability and skill to connect with people quickly and transition them into a live conversation. So you're basically building a new sphere of influence. This will take several hours per week and several months to gain momentum. Like I mentioned, like moving to a new city. Now, we spend a lot of time on Facebook, and sometimes there are frustrations, right? Like, why is Facebook making me pay? And I want you to think of Facebook as kind of like a newspaper, today's newspaper. If someone's scrolling through, right, there's only a certain amount of advertising space that can take up a newspaper without people stopping to buy the newspaper. And so what happens is, maybe when a newspaper will start, they'll just say, if you're a local business, you want to advertise for free, it's fine, it's $5, whatever. Well, as that newspaper gets more and more popular and more people want to advertise in it, then the demand for attention goes up. And I want you to know that if you're going to create a business page for Facebook, to be prepared to use advertising, just because what you're trying to do is put your message inside today's newspaper. You're going to have to invest a lot of time, or you're going to have to invest a lot of money to build your audience on your page. Now, if you have a type of person that you're excited to serve, like one of our clients does, homeschooling moms, then you can get traction more quickly. If you're just trying to promote your business, it's going to be hard to stand out from the millions of network marketers in the world. So it'll be really, really important that you figure out who is the person that you really, really want to serve, and who is it that you really want to help. And if you're not clear on that yet, then you probably want to wait on a business page. But if you know who you want to help, if you have time and resources to put into building an audience, then building a business page would be a great place to start. The second question is, how do I get more engagement? And I think we all have had the feeling where we post things and it's just crickets. And in network marketing, it can be more frustrated because You'll see your leader post something, they'll get hundreds of comments, and then you do the same thing and it's nothing. It's because the audiences are different. So the quickest way for me to be able to help you is to help you to understand that you need to mix up the types of posts. Writing them yourself will increase engagement because your authentic voice, you will come out. People are there to interact with you, not an upline or a graphics company, which we'll get to graphics in a bit. But it's really appealing to use pre-made graphics because then you don't have to think. But remember that that's not why people are on Facebook. So if you want to do engaging posts, let's start with making sure they're engaging with you, not a graphic. People want to be smart, funny, and cool. And so you want to give them opportunities to engage that help them to do that, right? If you're just putting up here's my product, there's actually nothing for them to engage. There's no reason to engage. So why would they? You don't need to take that personally. One type of post is an engagement post where you're actually looking for quick answers. So something like fill in the blank, debate questions work well. You want them to be able to put quick answers that make them feel smart. A popular one that one of my friends teaches is just put on there, Brussels sprouts, yes or no. And you will get a ton of engagement because it's a debate post. So either ors work really well, fill in the blanks, post a GIF on how you feel about this. Those tend to get really good engagement because it makes people feel smart, funny, and cool to engage with your post. The next type of post is a story post, and this is a behind the scenes post. And so this is typically a picture. It includes you, and you tell a story about what's happening. If you just put a picture, there's nothing to engage with, but if you put a story behind it, then people can interact with it. The third is a value post or a teaching post. This is something that's going to be useful to help them to have a better life. These don't actually get the most engagement, but all of these different types of posts work together for engagement. An action post is like comment below if you want to take a next step. That's ultimately the culmination of your social media strategy. And then a fifth type of post is social proof or testimonials, and it depends on the place, right? It's going to vary whether you're in a customer group or a personal page or a business page, but it might make sense to share success stories. Those are not going to get a lot of engagement either. But when you use all five together and you just alternate through them, the different types of posts create an engaging strategy where you'll start to see your engagement and your call to action posts increase in engagement, while the other ones just kind of feed your credibility so that people continue to interact with you. So that goes to the next question of, should I use graphics? My opinion on the matter is very, very sparingly, and I think you'll get that from a lot of social media coaches. Do you enjoy seeing graphics? Do you engage with them? And it's not what people are here for, whether they're beautiful or not. You're very, very proud of your product and the amazing graphics, and you are going to think they're cool, but you are not who you're trying to communicate with. Remember, this is Facebook, not graphic book, not quote book. Now, if you have really high engagement and trust with your audience, a graphic might get traction. But overall, I think these are going to be your lowest engaging posts. If all you're ever doing is graphics, you have a dead page. And this kind of goes back to the 5 different types of posts. If you only do one type of post, your strategy won't work. So you may see people who do story posts every single day. Well, then they start to look like all they care about is talking about themselves. You see people who only do engagement posts, they're shallow, right? People who only do value posts, and that's what they do every day, they know it all. And so you want to vary it between, I care about your opinion. Also, here is some of me. Also, here's something that I think would be helpful for you. Also, I want to invite you in for more. Also, other people are doing it. Also, I want to get your opinion on this matter. And you kind of go through that. And that's how we build relationships in real life. And so it's no different than what we would do online. The last question is, how do I strike up social conversations with people that actually lead to sales? And there's 2 ways to do this. It has to do with incoming and outgoing messages. Now, overall, your job is to be friendly and mirror the interaction you would have in real life. So if you saw a friend from high school and you're walking across this, like opposite sides of the street, and they waved at you, you probably wouldn't say, hey, what's up? Do you want to come work out with me? Or, hey, right, you would just go walk over to them and say, it's good to see you. How are you? Thanks for waving to me. We want to use normal social etiquette online just because you're behind a screen. And I'm sure you've been frustrated with this as well. People operate differently when they're on social media than they do in real life because they're not seeing the other person. Well, that goes for boldness, but it also goes for weirdness. So let's go through a couple scenarios. Number one, if they comment and like something that you posted. So let's just use the example of a personal page right now. If you know them, say, hey, how are you? It's nice to see you pop in my newsfeed. What have you been up to? Or you could say, hey, how are you? It's nice to see you pop up. In my newsfeed, I notice, and go back to their profile, hey, I noticed you just went to so-and-so. How was that? Right? This is how you would interact in real life. If you don't know them, hey, it's nice to meet you. How are we connected? And you'll remind me again how we're connected. Oh, I see something from your profile. That's pretty cool. Just in real life, don't force conversations. If you're interacting with others and like you're going to their profile and you're commenting on their stuff, be friendly. How would you make a friend in real life? Hey, that's super cool how you just got a new house. Congratulations. And then see if they're friendly back and go back and forth. I think you'll be interested to see who engages back with you. Those are the people you want to be in conversations with versus trying to force friendships. You wouldn't do that in real life, right? If you said, hey, how's it going? And they said, fine. And they turn their head. You wouldn't like walk up around them and say, hey, did you see that I messaged you? Or did you hear me that I said hi? That would be super weird. So I don't think that makes a lot of sense online either. If the conversation turns to problems you solve, so they say something like, I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm whatever. I think a good lead-in is, do you know what I do for work? And then they'll say yes or this or no. No, I don't know what you do for work, or yes, I do. I think your identity in your business is really important to be able to ask that question properly. If it is your part-time hustle, then you can just say, hey, do you know what I do for my part-time work? No, I don't. It adds some legitimacy when you say, do you know what I do for work? Well, I work with women network marketers, and we help them talk to people without being salesy. Is that something that is important to you? That's maybe something that I would say. Or if I would say, I work with high level, like for my one-on-one practice, I work with high level network marketing leaders, and I help them to have stronger teams that are more stable and that have more joy. Is that something that's important to you? And they say yes or no. And then you can say, well, if you want, usually what I do is set up an appointment to go over this, that, and this. Here's how long it takes. That's something that you would find helpful. And that's how I would recommend that you transition conversations when problems you solve or goals that you meet come into play. So those are the answers to the questions. So again, the questions were, should I start a business page? How do I get more engagement? Should I use graphics? How do I strike up conversations with people that actually lead to sales? If you want to get the notes from this or a cheat sheet or however it helps you to think of what it is, then just go ahead and go to emergeSalesTraining.com/376notes, and we will email those to you, and that way we can also stay in touch. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will talk to you soon.